Good morning. Welcome to a class on correction of sentences in relation to prepositions. This is the third session of 6 sessions on correction of sentences. It is a part of language component in the syllabus of English language for the fourth semester BCom and BBA course under the CBCS scheme in Mysore University. In this session, we will discuss on introduction to prepositions and correction of sentences in relation to prepositions. Firstly, let us discuss the importance and meaning of prepositions very briefly. To use English effectively, one should learn prepositions clearly. Because a preposition is a word or a group of words that describes the relationship between other words in a sentence. So this nature of prepositions enable one to connect its ideas in order to express the meaning more accurately and precisely. Meaning, as the very word preposition itself suggests pre plus position. That means a word placed before. So, prepositions indicate relationships between other words in a sentence. It means preposition acts as connectors and marks how a word relates to the another. Let us look into the examples. There is a cow in the field. He is fond of tea. The cat jumped off the chair. So, in the first sentence, the word in shows the relation between two things, cow and field. Here, the preposition joins a noun to another noun. In the second sentence, the word of shows the relation between the attribute expressed by the adjective fond and tea. Here, the preposition joins a noun to adjective. In the last sentence, word of shows the relation between the action expressed by the verb jumped and the chair. Here, the preposition joins a noun to verb. So, a preposition is a word placed before a noun or pronoun to show in what relation to the person or thing denoted by it stands in regard to something else in a sentence. Hence, preposition is both a connector and points at how a word is related to the rest of a sentence. Now, let us look into the forms of prepositions. Based on the nature or form of the prepositional word, we have divided the prepositions into simple, compound, and phrasal. What is the simple prepositions? Simple prepositions are the short words used to determine a relation between nouns, pronouns, or even to join a part of a clause or a sentence as well. Example, on, over, at, under, beside. So then what is a preposition of compound? Compound preposition are made up of two or more words. They may be used as one word. They are made by prefixing the preposition to a noun or to an adjective or to an adverb. For example, along, across, within, beyond, beside, inside, etc. Now, the last one, prepositions of praise. Phrasal prepositions are a group of words used as prepositions. It contains a preposition, a noun or pronoun as object of the preposition and acts modifier of the object. Example, in spite of, with regard to, with respect to, instead of, because of, etc. Next, we will have the glimpse on the types of prepositions based on usage. We will have a glimpse. Yeah. Prepositions not only express the relation of words in a sentence, but also convey the information and special relations with location, time, direction, or other details. Based on this multiple usage and dynamic quality of prepositions, we have categorized them as prepositions of time, place, direction, agency, reason, origin, connection, etc. Let's look into them in a very brief manner. Prepositions of time. Prepositions of time is a preposition that describes when or how long something occurred or will occur, like a date on the calendar, one of the days of the week, or the actual time of something that takes place, etc. Example, at, in, on, for, during, since, until, etc. So now the next one is prepositions of place. Prepositions of place describe the position of a person or a thing in relation to another person or a thing. For example, at, in, on, between, by, near, etc. Next one is the preposition of direction or movement. Preposition of direction or movement describes how, where, or in what way something moves. For example, to, from, above, over, along, across, through, towards, etc. Next one is prepositions of agency. Prepositions of agency describes a person or a thing that has caused or is causing something to occur. So, example, with, which is used along with the instrument, and by. Next one is prepositions of purpose or reason. Prepositions of purpose or reason describes why something has occurred or will occur. For example, because, for, on account of, and etc. Similarly, the prepositions of origin shows how something is, shows the genesis of something, and preposition of connection also shows how something is related to the another. So these are the prepositions uh, based on the usages that we have seen. So far we have discussed very briefly about the prepositions. Now we will be looking into the correction of sentences in relation to prepositions through examples. The first one, I congratulate you for your victory. The wrong one, I congratulate you on your victory, is the correct one. Because one should use on preposition after the words like congratulate or insist. So here on is the right one and not for. Next example, he goes in the school. Incorrect. He goes to the school. Correct. The second one is the correct one. Here the preposition to should be used because it describes the direction or movement, and in refers to the position. So we have to use to preposition and not in. Next example, he has been traveling over 5 years. He has been traveling for 5 years. The second sentence is correct one because preposition for is used to refer the measures of time, while for is used for the purpose. Over is used for the movement. So the for is the right answer and not the over. Next example, the train will arrive in 8 p.m. The train will arrive at 8 p.m. So the second sentence is the correct one because at preposition is used to refer the exact time and not the end. So we have to use at, not in. In the next example, he will come at Monday. He will come on Monday. The second sentence is the right one. We use on preposition to refer the exact days or date, whereas at is used to refer exact time. So here on is the right one and not the at. Next example, Shweta won the prize on 2018. Shweta won the prize in 2018. The second one is the correct one because in preposition is used to refer the period of time or something within the period of time in the sense of time, while on is used to exact day. So we have to use in, which is the right one, and not the on in this sentence. Next example, she is pouring tea in the cup. She is pouring tea into the cup. In a sentence, into should be used to describe the inward movement or direction. So we have to use into, not in. So she is pouring a tea into the cup is the right one. We have to use into and not in. Next example, the dog sprang on the stranger. The dog sprang upon the stranger. Second one is the right one. In a sentence, upon should be used to indicate upward motion. So we have to use upon, which is the right one, and not on. Next example, I was bitten with a snake. I was bitten by a snake. The second sentence is the correct one, because by preposition should be used for the doer of action as an agent. So we have to use by and not with. Next example, he hit me from a stick. He hit me with a stick. The second sentence is the right one. In a sentence, with is used to describe the connection of the instrument as an agent, and from shows the beginning point in the sense of time. So with is the right one and not from. Next example, he did not return to midnight. He did not return till midnight. The second sentence is the right one or the correct one, because till describes the relation in terms of time, whereas to shows the relation in terms of direction. So till is the correct one and not the to. Next example, she sat besides her friend. She sat beside her friend. The second sentence is the correct one, because beside means by the side in terms of position, while besides means in addition. So here beside is the correct one and not the besides. Next example, he distributes sweets between he distributes sweets between children. He distributed sweets among children. Here, if you look into this, we use among preposition with reference to or to show the relation of more than two things, and between is used between the to show the relation between the two things. So in here children refers to more than two, so among is the right answer while between is the wrong answer. The second sentence is the right one. Next example, similar to the above one or the earlier one, he divides the property among his two sons. He divides the property between his two sons. So the second one is the correct one, because between describes the relation of two things, whereas among refers to more than two things. So between should be used, and that's the right one, and not among in this case. And the next one and the last example, he will join school since tomorrow. He will join school from tomorrow. Since and from both are. So the second sentence, he will join school from tomorrow, is the right one. Since and from, both the prepositions are used in the sense of time. Since is used only in perfect tenses, whereas from can be used in any tense in the sense of time. So from is the correct one and not the since. So with this we will end this session. We have tried to understand very briefly on prepositions and kinds of prepositions and the usage of prepositions and the common error that one can make while using the prepositions. So we have study materials having given and certain exercises as well, and along with that even you will get the plenty of uh, resources on prepositions. Please try to learn it, because the very typical one is in the grammar is prepositions. So try to learn it very well. Only the practice can give you the mastery over it. So with this I end. Good day. Thank you.